house to watch this bad boy, San Antonio, New York. New York, the winners of their first NBA Cup. And so let's break it down. What we saw last night, OG Anunoby with his 28. He started out with one of those OG games in the first half. Jalen Brunson, 25, 11 to 27. Wemby had 18, and we'll talk a little bit about Wemby on that one. Dylan Harper, 21 points off the bench. And you got to sit by his dad the whole game, which is pretty awesome. I'm sure you guys had good conversations. Lou, you did pick New York to win this game.
I did.
What kind of a statement would you say they made?
They're poised to compete, right? Yesterday we had the conversation about the Eastern Conference versus the Western Conference. This was a great matchup for us to kind of see where things are as far as these teams match up. And I thought last night, and I thought before the game, offensively, defensively, the Knicks were a deeper basketball team, and it showed on when it came to defense. I thought the Spurs, they looked like a better defensive team, but the Knicks showed up last night, and they were more overwhelming for the San Antonio Spurs than I had imagined. They were flying around. They were guarding guys. I think they had a really good game plan. And then offensive rebounding was another big thing for them as well. With a team like Wemby, and it's a little different with him coming off the bench and still having some minute restrictions there, but I think New York took advantage of that. Mitchell Robinson had a big night on the offensive glass. Cat was able to have a big night on the offensive glass, and then you had the guys come off the bench like I talked about the other guys. But I thought this is a great statement for New York in the East, with it being so wide open going into this second quarter of the season. They're starting to create some separation in the East to say, we're one of the top teams right there along with Detroit, and we want to walk that one spot down. This is a team that hadn't lost since Thanksgiving, so they're playing really good basketball. 6 straight, really poised, and I like just seeing them up close in person and how they respond to Mike Brown and how they respond to coaching. I was like, wow, this is a different identity for this New York Knicks team. So I like it. I think that was the statement that was being made. I think they enjoy playing basketball together, and I think they're a confident group that think they can win basketball games against really good teams.
Yeah, it's different talking about the Knicks and talking about their depth, right? Like, we've never really
weirder.
done that. And
like
Kolek was great, Clarkson was great, Mitchell Robinson was great, and they were just the more physical team. You saw they pounded them on the glass, 59 to 42, 23 to 18 on the offensive glass. Mitchell Robinson was great. They were more physical. They kind of imposed their will early on. And again, they have that versatile lineup where OG was phenomenal. Him, Bridges, Hart, they're so versatile. They can guard really 1 through 5, and that's a real luxury when you have size with Cat and Mitchell Robinson, but you can also go small and let those guys switch every action, switch off-ball screens, switch pick and roll, and they're super versatile teams. They can score. We all know how good Jalen Brunson is, but they can also win games when the ball's not going to the hoop because they can get stops.
When we were speaking about it the previous day, one of the things we talked about was what both sides could do to win this game, and I brought up their second options playing phenomenal basketball, and I think that was shown on both sides. But to the Knicks' credit, OG had an incredible night, and I think that played a huge part in the win. But overall, it was a great team effort. New York is a really, really good team.
Okay, there it is. Hot take.
Obviously, their stars, Jalen Brunson, but just the team in general, you can tell this is a group that also enjoys playing with one another. It's a chemistry not only on the floor but off the floor. And you could tell these are real relationships and friendships between the guys on this team. So with all that being said, great all-around effort from this team. They got a spark from basically everybody involved. Collett came off the bench, hit big shots, made big defensive plays, taking charges down the lane. Big fella Mitchell came in, got some offensive rebounds, kept the game alive for them. And they also made a huge run towards the end with him being on the floor. And like I said, just everybody played a huge, huge part in this win. And I was completely wrong. I had the Spurs.
I know.
Me too.
Yeah, I had the Spurs winning. In my mind, it was nobody that could really match up with Wemby physically, but I was wrong.
But it was a weird Wemby night, too.
It was also a weird Wemby night, and obviously he got to speak on that a little more after the game, and it made sense. But, overall, you got to credit this Knicks team and how they fought. They came in well prepared. You could see they had a really, really good game plan, and, they were firing on all cylinders, and it showed.
They've lost a single game since Thanksgiving. And we know how good they can be and what they've looked like in the playoffs the last couple of years. So, I don't know, Chandler, let's go ahead and figure this out. Is this the best version of them that we've seen so far in the Brunson era?
Yeah, I think it is. They're complete. Again, when now they're getting production from their bench. It's never been this scenario with Tom Thibodeau, so now they're getting more production off the bench. Jordan Clarkson is exactly what they need. He's that kind of combo guard that can relieve pressure from Jalen Brunson. You put his usage rate down, but close game on the line, you know the action. It's going to be the ball's in Jalen Brunson's hand, space the floor. Cat is kind of that pick and they have a great two-man action, but when you get that kind of production from their bench, now they're really complete. We know they can defend. We know they can score in multiple ways. Again, those three wings with Hart, OG, and Mikal Bridges, they're so versatile and they can hurt you in so many different ways. And even Cat, I feel like he's flying under the radar right now because all the praise usually goes to Jalen Brunson, but he is so valuable to this team. He rebounded the ball well last night, and as long as he stays out of foul trouble, he's key to their success because he can hurt you in multiple ways. He can shoot the ball. Again, his two-man action with Jalen's unbelievable, but this team is dangerous. This team is very, very good.
I got to piggyback off of that. I think Cat was also good defensively. He had some really good possessions guarding Wemby. And, that's usually a knock when you speak on Karl Anthony Towns, but he proved otherwise last night, and also when it came to Jordan Clarkson. He hasn't had that big game yet until as of last night, but he's kind of struggled, still trying to find his feet, trying to find his rhythm within this Knicks offense. Obviously, he's a new player with this team, so he's trying to find himself. But last night, he absolutely did that, and those big shots towards the end also elevated them to that win.
And let me say this. When it comes to Wemby, he might want to play a little bit of some unethical basketball for himself. Like there were moments where I felt like instead of him using his size and his length, that he would kind of shrink down to guys' size. Like you got a guy that's 6'6", 6'7" guarding you, and you're playing down low, and you're trying to put the ball. Like I watched Jordan Clarkson dive from the 3-point line all the way to his feet trying to get that basketball. But in some of those scenarios, you can catch the ball and keep the ball high and shoot over guys. Take one dribble and you're already at the rim, and either they're gonna have to foul you or you're gonna dunk the basketball. Those are gonna be things that early in his career, he's gonna make those adjustments. He's gonna learn. But to his credit, he's trying to play the right way. He's trying to play very good basketball. But sometimes you gotta break a play off and you gotta be the man. You gotta be the guy. The only time that I see him really break plays off is in transition. Like they might get a rebound and they're bringing the ball up the court and he's like, give me the ball. And that's when he's gonna get in his bag. He's gonna go off the dribble. He's gonna shoot 3-pointers. In the half court, he has to do some of that as well. So if ISO basketball is unethical, I'm gonna need you to get a little bit more unethical how you play
100%.
Because you put so much pressure on teams if a Wemby catches the ball 12 feet from the rim.
Right.
You can't double him. You can't help because he can see over your traps. He can finish over your traps. He can shoot over your traps. So if he learns how to put pressure on teams from a short distance from the rim, this is going to make them a very dangerous basketball team. But he's young, he's adjusting, and also he's telling you, I'm trying to play the right way. But he got to get a little bit more KD in his system.
I think that's the exact next step for him in elevating to that next level of being an elite athlete. When they played OKC, I had the chance to speak with their coach, and that was literally the message. Are y'all working on these different things when it comes to him? He's to the point now where less is more. Like you don't have to Jamal Crawford into every move. Sometimes it's just a bump. Sometimes it's just turning around and just shooting over the defender. It was one possession, I believe, I can't remember, it was a guard ended up switching on him. And he made 2 to 3 extra moves, and I'm like, just turn around and shoot over the top.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna either foul you or you're not even gonna see him at all. So I think that's the next step for Wemby, just simplifying certain parts in his game, understanding his advantages in certain moments, and taking advantage of those advantages. So yes, he's young, yes, he's still learning, and obviously that's how